Hey, this is Leon Poe, man. You listening to Causeway Street Podcast.
What's up, y'all? This is Kenny Anderson. Y'all listen to the Causeway Street Podcast.
For all you new listeners out there, I'm your host, Josue Pavone. I'm joined as usual by my two co-hosts.
I'm Sean Dutra. What's up? So
yeah,
like
talk
long
about
walks
yourself.
on the bee.
There you go. Joel Pavone. What up?
I'm a Pisces. The most romantic.
It leads off with that.
The most romantic sign in all the zodiac.
Oh,
If you couldn't tell by my voice already.
oh,
Sexy.
But I'm the producer of this ensemble that we call Causeway Street. In case you missed it.
Hey, Bill Walton here, Celtics 1986. You're listening to the Causeway Street Podcast. Yeah, come here for nothing but the truth. This is where dreams come true. Thank you, Boston, for my life.
where are we going?
You guys are such homers.
It's your boy Terry Rozier. You're listening to the Causeway Street Podcast. Now listen to my boys Joe, Sway, Joel, and Sean.
If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
All right, back with another edition of the Causeway Street Podcast, the 99th episode. Is that true?
Jay Crowder, baby.
Is this the 99th time I've been talking to you two? And with these mics in front of us, I should say. Is this the
Yeah, I'm gonna
99th
say-
time
I think we'd have
that
more
we've
than
been doing
99
this show?
conversations,
Like, how
but
is
yeah.
that even possible? 99, episode 99.
Say it again.
I've been talking to you clowns.
Say it again.
You clowns. 99 times.
Say 99 more times, man.
How many times can we talk about the Celtics? 99
I don't know.
times?
I guess we'll see.
It's been, what, 4 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be the fourth.
Since Brad Stevens took over, we've been doing this
You know what's
podcast.
after 99? 100.
Yeah, that's right. It's coming up. That's next week.
It's going to be a big old show.
But this is the Jay Crowder edition, right?
Oh, this is the Jay Crowder edition.
He did get introduced to the Cleveland media, which for some reason you thought that wasn't going to happen, Sean. I thought that was weird. You
I
thought
didn't think
that
it was
him and
gonna happen.
Isaiah weren't going to have a press conference?
I was surprised that actually happened.
I think that would have hurt their feelings if they didn't get a press conference.
No, I think I didn't think it was going to happen because I didn't think Isaiah was going to sit up there and answer questions about his hip. I didn't.
Well,
but
he didn't.
he didn't because Cleveland media is soft as fuck. I forgot.
What's his name? Kobe? The GM.
Altman.
The GM said
Kobe Altman.
this is not going to turn into a Isaiah Hip conference.
And you know what Boston media would have done? I don't give a frig what.
Well, they did.
I don't think they would have said
Stupid.
Frig.
A
That was
couple
stupid.
people did ask again. And he was like, all right, to make this clear, we're not talking about Isaiah's hip.
Right.
Because
Right.
even Isaiah was like looking at Kobe like I thought we weren't going to talk about my hip.
Yeah, Isaiah's looking at Kobe like, we talked about this, man.
Yeah, but
Step in here.
That's exactly what I was talking
Intervene.
about. But I mean, Boston media wouldn't give a wouldn't give a fuck. They would have said,
Even
"Hey,
Sherrod made it out there.
sorry, I'm gonna ask about your hip because that's the only reason why I'm fucking here. Like, I don't care that. Like, it's great that you're here. Don't get me wrong. That's what I would have said. Great that you're here. Love that you're on the team. But what's wrong with your hip?
Well, the Cleveland media don't give him that much credit because even when the trade went down, they didn't give a shit.
No, the Cleveland media. I'll tell you something about the Cleveland media. From everybody that I've ever heard talk from the Cleveland media that has like a radio show or a column, they sound like they're stuck in like 1984 with like the corniest, cheesiest, like, hey, everybody, we're going to talk about sports today. Like that type of attitude. It's like, shut up. Like the sports talk has evolved so much from where you are.
How about the drive today?
Hey, can you believe? Hey, you know what? We're gonna squish the fish. That's their like that. That's what they do.
Well, Sean,
you know what? I'm non-Irish. I don't really like the Celtics.
Well, Sean, that's what
Hey,
happens.
Leverguy.
That's what happens in a city that's only won one championship
Yo,
in what?
it's ridiculous.
60 years?
The Cleveland sports media are the biggest pussies in the world. I'll put that hands down. Minus the dude from Chicago that we don't like, but
He's up there now?
the guy that you fired, yeah, definitely.
He's up there?
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah, man, he can't mess with you. Can't mess with us, baby. That's scary. But
So just because of that, huh? Well, what Thomas did talk about was, of course, his influence on Boston, which I thought was very interesting because he talked about how he claims that him and Jay Crowder created this rebuild. So we got to talk about that because I don't know. I think there's some truth to
Brad
that,
Stevens?
but at the same time, there's a lot of other parts that
they're-
that happened the last 4 years since we've been doing this podcast.
They're a big part of it.
Huge part.
yeah, I mean, 1,000%. Those trades didn't happen when if you don't get Jay Crowder, and you don't get Isaiah Thomas, you're not where you are. But there's a lot of other things that happen. You know, what you're just not gonna give Marcus Smart, Avery Bradley, Brad Stevens.
Well, they did. I mean, I know Isaiah did. He kind of alluded to that. Talked about Stevens. He said Stevens allowed him to be a star. Talked about Smart. Talked about Bradley.
Well, he also talked a lot about not only Boston, but his state of mind going to Cleveland in the new his new article on the Players Tribune.
Crazy.
So we got to get into that.
Oh, that Players Tribune article literally made me like almost be like, we shouldn't have traded Isaiah.
I thought you were going to say tear up.
No.
It sounded like you were going to say tear up.
No, I mean, I just when I heard him, I will get into it, but I mean,
No, I know what you mean because I heard him talking too when I read it.
yeah, dude,
I think there's.
got me in the fails.
I think Isaiah couldn't have put that together any better.
That was written like fucking Shakespeare wrote that shit.
I mean,
Unless
you don't think that was Isaiah? It
artist.
sounded like him. A lot of it sounded like him. Obviously, there's a lot of grammar and you know, a lot of things that I'm sure he had some help with. But for the most part, it sounded like
it
Isaiah.
sounded like him. It sounded like him. It did sound like him, but it was so elegant. It was elegant as fuck, dude. I was like reading that. I was like, what am I reading? Like, am I reading somebody's like farewell breakup letter where they're like, it's not me, it's you. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I felt like. He's like, the only thing that I did wrong was fall in love with you. It's like, I don't even know how to respond to that.
Right.
I don't even know how to respond to it. If a girl said that to me to break up with me, I'd be like, I thought I broke up with you.
I mean,
Now all of a sudden you're turning the tables and it's like, no, wait, come back. I think I want you back. Ridiculous.
do you remember?
Got me all over the place.
You remember 2 seasons ago, after they got eliminated by the Hawks in the first round, and his like letter to Boston, that even Pierce shared it on his social media like accounts, like yeah, Boston will do that to you, bro.
Yeah.
And so like,
Well, yeah, he talked about his first time playing at the Garden.
Yeah, like the
and
first
what
time he
the
walked
city-
in
what the
because-
city meant to him.
because when they traded for him, he was on the road. So then I think maybe like a week and a half later after the trade.
Well, yeah, he talked about how he got ejected,
He got ejected
in
against
LA,
Phoenix.
and he thought that Boston
LA, yeah,
fans
yeah.
wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
And they were like, "No, man, they're gonna love that. Like Boston is all about
former
heart and soul. The way you put
Yeah.
yourself out there, like
Former
they're gonna love
conditioning.
that when you get back to Boston."
The former conditioning coach Brian Dew was like, "Bro, Boston's gonna love you. Like you got ejected against the Lakers."
Yeah, bro. It's like that's everyone was sitting at the home like, oh yeah, man, that was
I
great.
remember watching that like, yeah, this guy is gonna be something special.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I loved.
like all the stuff off the court as well, you know.
This is gonna turn into an Isaiah Thomas love fest, I think, because after this article went out, man, it gets you thinking. It's just like, by the way, I would never change anything. I'm gonna stay right now. I still am for the trade, but damn, Isaiah, just from what he said in that article,
You felt him.
you get it. Like there was obviously a connection there between Boston Celtics fans and Isaiah Thomas. Like he is the prototypical Celtic. If you want to think about it,
I think those that like forgot or like didn't give the Celtics a chance after the latest Big Three era ended, he made you a fan again. And for those who weren't like fans of basketball in Boston, like the younger fans, he made them a fan of the Celtics.
But I think it's also too, he has that sort of like Boston blue collar mentality. You know what I mean? Like,
no, of course.
Don't count me out. Type like you may not
he's
think
the ultimate underdog,
right? Exactly. Which Tom Brady, Isaiah Thomas, David Ortiz, whoever you want to talk to, came in as
even Paul
don't
Pierce.
fucking count me out. Well, Paul Pierce came in a little bit higher.
Oh, okay. I
expectations,
think
right?
you're talking about people who
I'm talking about the three other than Paul Pierce.
I got you. I thought you were talking about people who gave him like his props,
Right.
Like, who were Boston.
Well, yeah. Well,
Boston
they all
icons.
gave him his props, but at the same time, those are guys that came into the
from
league
nothing.
without high expectations.
Anything. David Ortiz got traded from the fucking Twins, bro. Came over here. The Twins gave up on him, and then we took him.
Good looks, Minnesota.
You know what I mean? But then it's just he fits that mold. But you know what? The only thing is it's just like Tom Brady's still 6'6", and David Ortiz a beast, and Isaiah 5'9".
See, that's the whole thing, Sean. Though that's the same thing I've been saying
know,
for the last
but
2 years.
basketball's a different sport.
Well, no, not only that, but the fact that like people just sell him short because of his size, and at the same time, you look at his numbers, and very few guys in the NBA can scoring wise. I mean, he's one of the best scorers.
I agree.
And someone like Isaiah, even Danny Ainge said that he's going to have that chip on his shoulder going into Cleveland, knowing that not only did he get traded, but that like the Celtics essentially, they thought that Irving was better than him. They thought that they would be better off without him. And that's going to make him prove to everyone how valuable he really is.
The whole thing that I'm taking from this trade is it's not. I don't think the Celtics really think that Kyrie is way better than Isaiah Thomas. That's not the problem here. It's that, Isaiah, you got a bad hip. You're 29. We got a 25-year-old guy that we don't have to commit to right now.
Yeah, but it's not just... Okay, I think the hip plays a part.
No, the hip plays a huge part. A huge part. Yes.
I don't think it plays a huge part.
1,000%.
I think they don't see his window as high as Irving's, which is understandable.
If the hip didn't happen...
But at the same time, though, if the hip didn't happen, I still think...
You wouldn't have injury concerns.
No, but Sean, if the hip didn't happen, people would still say, I don't know, man. He's small. You know, he gets beat up. When he turns 31, 32, he won't be doing the same. He won't be putting up the same kind of numbers.
I don't know. I think
we had this conversation last episode when we said that, oh, look at Allen Iverson. Look at guys in the past, similar to him in the same kind of style, and guys who are, close to 6 feet. Obviously he's way below that in comparison to Allen Iverson. But that's the thing. We've never seen somebody like Isaiah Thomas, so no one can put him. At a level where he's like, at 31, 32, he'll still be putting up those kind of numbers because we have never seen someone like that.
Bottom line, if Kyrie Irving isn't available, if he didn't demand a trade, or if the Cavaliers didn't want to deal with the Celtics at all, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Danny lucked out.
Like regardless if he's injured or not,
he lucked out big time. He lucked out big time.
I mean, I'm psyched Kyrie Irving's on the Celtics. Psyched Kyrie Irving's on the Celtics. I mean, that's huge. He's the biggest player to come through.
Oh, absolutely. It's huge because I don't think the Celtics would have released the fact that Isaiah's not going to start the season until like October.
Got him.
Like, think about it. No one was really concerned about the hip until he got traded, until he got the physical, until all the information was leaked out that, Isaiah might be out to the All-Star break.
I was concerned about the hip before the trade. I always was concerned.
Yeah, but you weren't concerned thinking like he's going to miss 2 months, though.
Yeah, you didn't.
You were concerned that he won't be as productive as he was last year.
Think...
That's a big difference.
Yeah, I was nervous he wouldn't start the season, man. Because could you think about this team? Could you think about this team when you have, like, if the trade didn't happen and Isaiah was out, I mean, Gordon Hayward would have to be everything on this team. If you did every other move except this trade, you now have Smart, Rozier probably starting at point guard, right?
No, I think it'd be Smart.
Smart would start at point guard. You put Gordon at the 2, Jay at the 3, Morris at the 4, Al at the 5. That's not gonna do anything. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna compete on a lot of with good teams with that lineup. So
yeah, but how bad is that lineup in comparison to last year, though? I mean, you don't have Gordon Hayward on this team.
No, I'd much rather have Isaiah. Okay,
no, we're saying in a hypothetical situation if Isaiah doesn't get traded, right?
I just thought of something. Okay, Gundy ahead. Joel.
Here we go. You haven't done this in a while.
You have to pick on a team. Start a team.
To start a team?
To start, like, just you pick the player. Okay. You have the one player to start a team.
All right.
Isaiah Thomas, Gordon Hayward. Who are you taking?
Wait, well, how come I got to pick between one of those two?
Because it just popped into my head, dude.
I mean, right now, knowing that they're injured, that
no,
one's injured, or
no? I mean,
just based on numbers from last season.
Last season,
I go Isaiah. Not without the injury, and based on numbers, I go Isaiah.
IT.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Yeah,
same.
Yeah,
I mean, you didn't ask me.
1,000%.
I'm going Isaiah.
So it's like I'm just going to answer, but yeah.
I mean, Thomas is already.
I wasn't talking to you, mother.
He's already proven that he can take a team to the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at it, I mean,
Speaking of things that we've said in the past, I was the only one that had Gordon in my top 25.
Oh, there you go.
But I think we all had Isaiah in the top 15, and then as the year went on, he was closer to the top 10.
I think I had him at 16.
You know what? One thing I'm worried about.
I had him outside the top 15.
You know what I'm worried about with Isaiah is this Kobe influence on Isaiah. Like, I'm really worried. Like, Kobe sent out a tweet.
That can only help him.
You do realize
that can only help him.
I mean,
the Kobe influence is also on Gordon Hayward too, right?
No, I'm worried. I'm worried because Kobe's out there tweeting to say, Isaiah, you better get first team All NBA.
Challenging people.
You better get and I'm just looking at it like, man, if Isaiah Thomas gets first All NBA, that's not good for the Celtics. Like, that's not good at all.
But if it turns out that he doesn't come back until January, February, no one's going to vote for him to be first team All NBA.
No,
I mean, Kyrie Irving, who is looked upon for the most part as the better player, he didn't get voted on any of the All NBA teams, first, second, or third. And he's supposed to be a top 10 player in the league.
Which is crazy.
Well, then that's what I'm saying.
So what did Kyrie...
You're going to be doing that for a while, I'm telling you. Yeah. Like the mix-up. It's just because we're so used to saying, Isaiah, and we're so used to saying Kyrie as a member of the Cavaliers.
What did he say at the press conference? Truthfully, I didn't watch the press conference because I didn't believe it was actually going to happen.
Didn't watch the press conference, so you were against it because you predicted that it wouldn't.
Yeah,
happen.
when I saw it,
he refused to watch. Like, no, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, no. When I saw, hey, Isaiah Thomas is going to be presented to the media pretty soon, I said, oh, what? And Stevie Wonder's going to say he's not blind soon, huh? I'll wait for that to happen first, and then I'm going to watch the press conference.
All right, so before we get into the quotes from the press conference, let me remind you that this episode of the Causeway Street Podcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Oh, you're going to give out free jingles now, Sean? You giving out free jingles?
You still haven't gotten, talked about numbers with the first jingle. So let's see what happens with
He's
this
already
second
working on a new one.
There you go.
Pay me.
What up, Nick?
Listeners, head over to FanDuel.com/Causeway and get yourself signed up to FanDuel. It's a brand new NFL season, and I'm telling you, my team is stacked.
Get out of here,
stacked.
bro. Get out of here.
And you don't believe me? Go check it out. Head over to FanDuel.com/Causeway. Get yourself signed up. I mean, it's the easiest way to get money on the internet. Fantasy football, you don't have to stick with that team. You can switch it up every single week. And you can see if you can compete with Sean and I.
Join our league, man. I mean, I've set my lineup. I've changed my lineup. I've set my lineup, and I've changed my lineup like 1,000 times. I think I got it locked down now.
And check it out.
I think I got it locked down.
And check it out. If you impress us so much, we'll even get you. We'll give you what, 5 minutes? We'll give you some airtime on here.
Hey,
so you can have some bragging time right here on the Causeway Street Podcast.
Take on the Causeway Street team.
But you got to head over to FanDuel.com/Causeway.
You got to go and sign up right now, though, because the contest starts at 1 p.m. on Sunday. You have to get everything in by then. You can join the Listener League. Me and Sway and Joel are all a part of it. I'm going to kick everyone's ass, so you basically are giving me your money. But if you think you can beat me, sign up. FanDuel.com/Causeway will get you into the Listener League contest.
All right, so let's do this, okay? I got 3 questions that we're going to all answer before we start reading some of these quotes, since I guess Sean didn't see the press conference. But we also got some quotes from the...
I don't like your attitude, Sway.
We also have quotes from the Players Tribune article, which I'm sure you read. I mean, who didn't read that? Just a look on Sean's face is just like, yeah,
I read it.
He read that.
I read it.
Passionate, right?
I read it.
Straight passionate. All right, we'll get into it. But these are the 3 questions I want to answer, okay? Number 1, is Isaiah Thomas a Boston icon? Don't answer it right now. We'll get into it.
Why are you asking a question if I can't answer it?
Because he's running down through the questions.
I don't like this. Okay, go ahead, Sway.
What'd I just say?
I'm ready to go now. I'm cool.
Number 2, can the Cleveland Cavaliers actually win a championship this year?
Well, I think...
And number 3, did Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder rebuild the Celtics? We kind of answered that one, but we can get more in depth as we go throughout the show, especially these quotes, man. A lot of these quotes I thought was very defiant out of Thomas. You know what I mean? Thomas kind of made himself seem like...
Well, it took him a little bit to like actually talk about his feelings.
No, I understand that, but it almost felt like he came to Cleveland and was telling the media like, yeah, they traded me, but it's going to be all right. We're going to do big things here, and you guys are in for a treat.
Yeah.
So one of the quotes that I really liked was, which is, from the beginning, it's obvious. He goes, "It was surprising. Definitely caught me off guard," talking about the trade. "It also woke me up and made me realize that this is a business and anyone other than LeBron James and Kevin Durant and those kind of guys can be traded. I prayed on it, thought about it, slept on it, and I'm just thankful for this opportunity. I'm blessed to be traded to a situation where we could win a championship. I've been shooting under 10-foot hoops since I was 7. The ball are the same and the hoops are the same." It's almost like he's just being like snarky at this point.
Yeah, this is weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. And then this is what stuck out to me as well. "I averaged 29 a game and they're still going to talk. I could be MVP one day and they will still talk. Say something is wrong with my game. That's been the story, so I'm fine with it. It's been what I've had to fight for throughout my entire career, and I'm going to continue to fight until my career is over. That's just what it is." Now, what I like the most out of the Players Tribune, or one of the few things I like the most out of the Players Tribune.
Well, hold on. About that comment, too. That's Isaiah Thomas, though.
Yeah.
Right.
You know
We know that.
Yeah, we know
That's
that.
Isaiah.
We know that. That's no surprise. But what
He needs to have a chip on his shoulder.
I
thought you kind of surprised about that. I'm like,
that's that's if you read that quote to me, I would be like, oh, that's Isaiah.
It stood out to me because of what he wrote in the Players Tribune when he talked about the double standard that's in the NBA, this double standard of loyalty, right?
Yeah.
The fact that he mentioned Kevin Durant and LeBron James, the fact that he put those 2 guys together, I mean, let's face it. After what the Celtics did, it's a double standard. There's no loyalty in the NBA.
No, there's no loyalty
Nowadays,
in the NBA.
now after this trade, after what Danny Ainge did, no one can ever complain about a star leaving his team.
Well, I think that LeBron James has a lot to do with this double standard, actually.
Well, 100%. But like the fact that he threw Kevin Durant's name in there, it's just funny. Like those are the two guys he sees as
those
players.
Are the biggest defectors. They're the biggest defectors.
Right, but they're two guys that no team would ever trade, but they're two guys that have been ridiculed the most for leaving their organizations.
But you know what? Maybe, no, I'm just going to say.
It's a double standard.
No, it's a double standard. And you know what? LeBron James makes it a double standard because when Isaiah got traded initially, what did LeBron James fucking retweet? A burning Isaiah Thomas jersey in Boston. He's trying to make this a narrative. LeBron James is trying to make everybody under him a narrative. Because, if you burn my jersey, guess what? You get traded, guess what happens to you?
No,
Same thing happens.
Well,
but guess what? I decided to leave, and you got traded, and this is what happened.
Right, well, he's pointing out the double standard. That's what I'm saying, though.
LeBron James is making the double standard. That's what I'm saying.
How is he making the
LeBron
double
James
standard?
is saying, I can do whatever I want.
No, he's trying to say
I can do whatever.
No, he's saying that a team traded Isaiah and you guys are still burning his jersey.
Yes,
that's what he's saying.
And he's saying, you know what?
He's saying that you fans aren't you guys are so loyal, quote unquote loyal, but you're not ready to turn on your organization. You're not ready.
Fuck
guys,
LeBron James.
when this trade went down, which one of us said, "Oh man, I can't believe Boston did that." Oh man, I can't believe Boston was that disloyal. We didn't say that, but when Kevin Durant left the Golden State Warriors a year ago, what did we say?
Yeah.
Oh, what a softy, what a bitch, what a guy who had a chance to knock off the Warriors.
It's not a double standard.
It is a double
No,
standard.
it's not a double standard because
Sean, you sat here. Well, we all did. We all sat here.
No,
not one of us said that. Not one of us said Danny Ainge is disloyal.
No, I know that.
A year ago when Kevin Durant went to Golden State, we were up in arms. Oh, what a bitch.
If you think this is a double...
how could he go to Golden State?
It's not a double standard. It's not a double standard. Listen, I'm Danny Ainge. My whole thing is to get my team as good as possible. I'm going to do whatever I do to get my team, which isn't about Danny Ainge, as good as possible. So if Kevin Durant, let's just even go to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant goes anywhere else but the Warriors, it's not a problem. You know who'll have a problem with it? OKC, because he left them, right? But this national outcry was just because he went to the team that won 73 wins.
Okay.
So he's taking the easy way out.
Well, no.
But wait.
The reason he was ridiculed was because he went to the team that beat them. Who beat the Celtics last year? So you're going to trade with the number one team that's in your way of getting to the finals, and you're going to trade your best player, the guy who played the day after his sister died.
You just said it.
And you want to take one of their players.
You just said it. Danny Ainge had to trade his best player to get somebody from the Cavs. So Danny Ainge is giving away his best player and his best asset to gain something back.
To the team that's in his way.
But, I mean, if that's the only team that's going to trade with him.
But Isaiah Thomas said in the Players Tribune, said it perfectly. And I 100% agree. Like, Celtics didn't get better. I've been saying that since the day this trade happened.
No,
I support the trade.
They got better.
I support the trade. They got better long term. Short term, they didn't get better.
I'm okay with Isaiah
They didn't
Thomas.
get better, and Cleveland did. You traded to the enemy. You traded your best player. You gave up on your best player because you were thinking about the future. Is it the smart move? 100%. But you can't say that's not a double standard.
No, it's not a double standard, man.
You're disloyal to the most loyal guy you have on your team, your best player.
It's not because
two loyal guys.
But
you're
not disloyal. Like, you are the business. Like, you are the person that makes business decisions, and your business is building a championship team.
All right. So going with that. So then why was LeBron, and trust me, I gave it to him as much as possible, as much as anyone else, when he left Cleveland the first time to go to Miami. Right?
We all did.
And we all gave him crap. And that was a a good business move for him because he won championships and he built his brand up.
You guys but you guys, I think you guys are missing a point, right? Because
what's the point?
This is the point. Everybody has so this is not coming from the players and it's not coming from the GMs because they understand it's a business. This is a fan perspective, okay? So the fans have their favorite team, right? That's never going to change. The player, your favorite player on your favorite team, let's say you're an OKC fan, right? Your favorite player on your favorite team is Kevin Durant, and he decides to leave your favorite team,
Okay.
okay, to go with the Warriors, the team that beat you last year, and it's his decision, you can't get mad at anything because guess what? Your favorite team did not get better. They got nothing in return. Kevin Durant ditched you. So, like, that is what you're dealing with when you're talking about a trade where Danny Ainge says, I'm going to give you two of my top 3 players, and I want your second best player. We're giving something to get something. So in Boston, you can say it as, all right, well, fine. We got Kyrie back. We're ready to go. Let's go. But if Isaiah Thomas just said, fuck you, I'm going to go play with Cleveland, hell yeah, there's going to be an outcry for that.
But that's different, though.
No, it's not different.
It's different.
Players leaving free agency, and they spurn
that.
their fans because guess what? The team is trying to keep you, and you say, I'm not going to stay with you anymore. So, like, the whole thing is, like, it's not a double standard. They're different situations, and the players have to understand, if you want to leave a city, fine, you can do that, but you have to deal with the backlash because you're making that decision. No one else is controlling you making the decisions. No one's out there cheering for Danny Ainge saying, yeah, go Danny, you're the best. It's, no, Isaiah, you're the best. We're here to watch you. And then you decide to leave. That's ridiculous. It's not a double standard.
But that's what the double standard. That's what the double standard comes in because Danny, how many times did we read? How many times did we talk about Danny in Isaiah Thomas's ear? You're the guy.
Yeah.
You're the guy we're gonna build around.
Nah.
When we traded for you, you could be a legend here in Boston. Right?
Exactly.
So then why is it not a double standard when he goes, oh, your hip is injured? Oh, shit. Kyrie Irving is available? Fuck. Right. That's a no-brainer. Let me do that.
It's Danny saying, I want this guy over you.
Well, yeah.
You're not good enough.
Right. So that is different because I'm trading Sway for Joel. Right? So I'm getting something back. I'm getting Joel in return.
I thought we're on the same team. All right.
Seriously.
Yo, these Pavone brothers, I can't fuck around with them. You know what I mean? They fucking play the same team.
Yo, what you mean, man?
I'm just saying, though, like, the fact that players think it's a double standard is ridiculous in my mind because you're making a decision to leave a fan base and a team that has been you are making that decision.
Sean, this is
you're spurning the fan base.
This is Danny Ainge saying we can't beat the Cavaliers with you as our guy.
Danny Ainge?
We can't take that next step as you as our guy.
You're not good enough
because someone like Kyrie is available. If he wasn't available, hey Isaiah, we'll get you that hip fix as quickly as possible.
Like we said at the top of the episode, he was lucky that he's available. But if he wasn't available, oh Isaiah, you're our guy. Yeah, you know what? You can lead us. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Oh, Kyrie wants to be traded. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? It's a business. You know what I mean? It's a double standard, Sean. Oh, it's a business.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
I'm just so loyal to
business.
you.
It's a business when Danny does it, but it's not a business when LeBron or KD does it.
I hate to say it, but I agree with LeBron. LeBron put that tweet out saying,
now he did it. He did it because more for him, though.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You guys are missing the point, though. Like,
or even your boy, Joel's boy, Ray Allen. Oh, it's just a business when a GM does it, right?
No,
he's a little bitch though because they were ready to give him everything he wanted, but he chose whatever he chose to do. That's fine. He chose because he felt like I got my best chance to win another championship.
I just don't think it's a coincidence that Kevin Durant's name was brought up by Isaiah Thomas in that press conference. I think that's what he's alluding to, and he made that 100% clear in the Players Tribune. Right, he didn't say it in the press conference, but he made it clear in the Players Tribune.
I don't know. I think the double standard is ridiculous, and it's players just looking at themselves as saying,
"Because say he's not injured.
No,
just for the sake of argument, he's not injured. He's going to the Cavs. He's going to be their starter. The best scorer in the East just went to your rival.
Listen. But listen now. If a GM makes a bad trade,
we're not saying the trade is bad.
Time out. Right. Hold on. If a GM makes a bad trade and they don't get anything back for their star, the whole city is going to come down on them hardcore. That's when the whole city is going to come down on the GM. But if a player decides to just up and leave and give up on the situation that they've worked on, then the whole city's going to come on down on it right away. So it's not a double standard. It's just a different situation. So if I'm an NBA player, I have to know I can get traded at any time. And you know what? If I get traded, it's not my fault. I just have to deal with this situation, right? It's a management situation. Like, it's not anything crazy. But if you say, I'm just out, I'm leaving, I'm going to your rival, and I'm making this decision, yeah, everybody's going to be mad at you right at that point. We don't have to see what return it is because we're not getting anything back.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that nobody was mad at Danny Ainge. Did you hear anybody mad at Danny Ainge?
Yeah, you haven't seen our Instagram.
That's what I'm saying.
Me putting up things about Isaiah Thomas and Kyrie Irving, I want to say like a good 80% of people are like, fuck Danny Ainge.
Hey, you know what?
Wow.
Man.
Hey, wait, Joel. You can't listen to what Twitter followers or Instagram followers or radio callers say.
I said Twitter. I didn't say Instagram.
God damn.
I said Twitter.
I'm telling you, man. People are connected to Isaiah Thomas. Yeah. It's a Boston feeling. So, like, if Isaiah, after the end of next year, played through the year and said, you know what, I'm gonna go join Cleveland, we would shit all over Isaiah Thomas.
Right. You're right, but because
it would be justified.
He has that choice. Danny Ainge also had the choice.
Right, yeah. Danny Ainge has a choice, but
Danny Ainge has a choice.
But listen, though, who is being affected by this? It's the fans. So if the fans see Kyrie Irving coming back in a trade, it's okay. So there's no double standard. It's just fucking different. Nah. It's not comparable. Nah. Like the fact that the players want to say any GM can make a move and it's not a big deal. But if I make a move, it is. It's like no one, Isaiah, Danny Ainge didn't say, I don't want to sign you. He's traded you to get better or what he thought was better.
Right, so then what about when they traded Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, right? If these picks don't turn into what they are now and the Celtics continue to suck.
Everyone would hate Danny Ainge.
You didn't hate Danny Ainge the night he made that trade?
No, see, it's different. It's different because
I know Danny Ainge the night he made that trade.
This is going to sound weird because, obviously what they did for the city, but at the same time, you have to remember that they were over the hill.
Yeah,
let's call it what it is. They were over the hill.
I mean,
we wanted to see Danny Ainge put together what San Antonio did,
right?
But they didn't get the Kawhi Leonard. They didn't get the Danny Greens. They didn't surround those veterans with the kind of players that were going to carry them into another championship run.
You shitting on J.R. Giddens here?
Exactly. And not to mention, man, how much flack did we catch on the last episode because we talked about how Danny didn't draft well? Okay, excuse me.
We caught flack about that?
I guess, yeah.
Wait, we caught flack about that?
Do you guys ever read?
Do you ever? No, I was going to say, do you ever read our feedback?
Oh, I couldn't find the episode last time because it didn't have Causeway Street in the name.
Somebody brought up the fact that
Causeway Street's got to be in the name so I can find it.
Why don't you put it in there then?
I don't know. It wasn't in there last time. I fucking searched for it. I had to listen to it on CLNS.
Somebody made a point that we already realized throughout the episode, the fact that Danny's only picked a top 10 pick once. We get that, okay? All right, wise guy, if you listen to the show right now. My point is San Antonio didn't pick Kawhi Leonard in the top 10. They didn't pick Danny Green in the top 10. Our point from the last episode was that Danny Ainge didn't even find like a solid rotation guy in the past. How many solid rotation guys has he drafted?
Jeff Green. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, that was traded.
Technically, he did draft them, but
yeah. Wait.
So
there's been a lot of top 10 picks, I feel. Especially in the
Celtics? There's only been one, dude. Marcus Smart. That's why we got flack.
Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum?
No, before that. We're talking about throughout the years, the big three. Throughout his tenure. We talked about how Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, we have to wait to see how they blossom. But beforehand, Danny really hasn't been great in drafting, whether we're talking, aside from Rajon Rondo and Al Jefferson.
Tony Allen. He wasn't top 10, but they were.
Right. So then that's what that guy said. Oh, you guys are such idiots. Oh, you guys are dumb. How are you guys even have this show? The Celtics, Danny Ainge is only picked in the top 10 was Marcus Smart besides the last two picks. Yeah, we get that. Our point is there's a lot of guys who've been picked, top 20, top 30, who've been impact players. And yeah, to another guy who said that, the Celtics whiffed on DeAndre Jordan and Jimmy Butler just like a lot of other teams did, it doesn't negate the fact that
they're all-stars.
They're all-stars now, and that Danny Ainge missed out. Because those guys like that, guys that you pick between 15 and 25, San Antonio picked guys like that.
Right.
And they were the ones that carried them into championship, who carry the veterans into championship runs, like the Celtics needed for Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce.
And how long is Danny Ainge?
I thought they still had one more good year left. That's just me.
But you
Especially with
wouldn't have got.
Doc,
You
especially with
wouldn't have
Doc
got.
Rivers.
You
Especially with
wouldn't
Doc
have
Rivers
got.
sticking around.
You wouldn't have got 3 first-round draft picks though if you waited a year though.
Doc somewhere's like, that's what I said. That's what I told him. 1 more year, Daddy.
I fucking told him that.
1 more year. All right, so where does Isaiah fit in Boston sports history? Is he an icon? Can someone who played here for only 2.5 years be an icon?
That's tough.
I mean, I love the part in the Players Tribune when he talked about Tom Brady reaching out to him and how it was bittersweet because obviously he wanted to stay here longer. He wanted to be one of those icons up there with David Ortiz and Tom Brady and the Paul Pierces. That was something that he envisioned since he became an All-Star.
Yeah, he made that kind of impact, but you can't call him that if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it depends on how old you are, man. If you're like 11 years old and you're just starting to watch basketball and starting,
That's
to,
what I'm saying. Yeah,
what I mean. Isaiah Thomas is your dude, man. You're probably becoming a Cavs fan now, dude.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah, there's kids right now who are going to get Cavs uniforms.
They're going to buy the Cavs uniform. Isaiah was fucking top 10 in jersey sold.
Imagine if 2002, right after that season, Paul Pierce got traded to like the Minnesota Timberwolves. We'd all be Timberwolves fans, dude. Or I would be at least.
Yeah. You're right.
You know what I mean? Isaiah Thomas for his 2.5 years is a transcendent player. Transcendent player, definitely. He had one of the best seasons of all time and really made this rebuild something great. But I mean, it sucks that the run was so short. I mean, I wish there was another way we could have got Kyrie Irving without giving up Isaiah Thomas 1,000%. I wish the salary cap didn't go up so we could fit him in on a good max deal. But I mean, it's just the way it works. It's the timing. Timing is everything, man. So you can't be mad at the situation. But was Isaiah Thomas an icon? I mean, for the last 2 years, yeah. I mean, if the Celtics somehow go off a cliff, then this is the high point of this run, which is not going to be because they got better.
Right.
Then you'd look at it as,
no, they didn't get better.
These would be the Isaiah Thomas
There's going to be high times coming up, yeah, but I don't think they got better right now. But all right.
They did. So
how did they get better? Okay.
We're not going to get into this again.
They're the exact same team. They're the exact same team we saw last year.
Maybe a little bit less because of the lack of experience coming off the bench.
All right, 20 seconds right now. How are they better, Sean? I wouldn't even.
I don't need 20 seconds.
How are they better?
He's just gonna say Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving,
slightly better than Isaiah.
Gordon Hayward,
slightly better than Avery Bradley.
Not defensively.
Out of your mind. You guys are out of your mind. They're two better players.
How?
Again, for sake of argument, they got 2 better players. But how many players have left?
Better.
Listen, though.
Who's guarding LeBron?
Like you, the ultimate Jay Crowder fan. You can't tell me that Jay Crowder
Who's guarding LeBron James?
Marcus Morris is guarding LeBron James. He's the best LeBron James defender in the league.
You can't tell me Jay Crowder going to the Cavs doesn't help the Cavs become better team.
No, it does because they have LeBron James. It doesn't help them if they don't have LeBron James. If you don't have the best player in the world, then Jay Crowder is what Jay Crowder was last year for us. And I love Jay Crowder. I love his toughness. I love everything about Jay Crowder.
He has the role that what we've been saying that he would fit perfectly in the Celtics.
I get it. But we were never going to get LeBron James.
I'm not saying you're going to get LeBron James.
We were never going to get the best out of Jay Crowder.
We were debating if he was even going to start over, Hayward or start with him.
Yes, I know because that's how Jay Crowder fits in the team without the best player in the NBA.
You got a 14-point scorer and 6 rebounds, 7 rebounds a game for the Cavs who they didn't have come off the bench last year. Just that alone.
Listen, all I know is that Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder will probably have good years for the Cavs. But the Celtics got better. I mean, if you think about it, the Celtics, what have we been saying for the past 99 goddamn episodes? Is we need superstars in Boston.
98, because this is 99.
We need superstars in Boston. Now you got 2 dudes.
Superstars
with Kyrie
along
Irving,
with good role players. That's what we need.
But you can get role players, Joel. That's what I'm saying.
Right now, this year.
Hold on.
Before this year begins.
Superstars, though.
Jason Tatum.
Hayward a superstar?
Jaylen Brown.
That was plural.
I love how he's convincing himself that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are going to be like, yes, the guys that the Celtics have been waiting for.
Down the road they may be, but right now.
But listen, if you need to go out and get a role player, that is so much freaking easier than trying to go out and get a superstar. So now you got Kyrie Irving. So now you got Gordon Hayward.
Are you doing that this year, though? That's the question.
You can if you want to.
So you're willing to trade Jason Tatum and
Jaylen
Brown for
why are you putting I didn't fucking say that.
Me, be a free agency.
Those are the two main guys coming off your bench, right? As your role players.
Listen, you can get a role player. You can get a role player. A role player is you don't have to. Jay Crowder has this myth around him where, and trust me, I probably built into this myth. But I mean, you would trade him for a Jimmy Butler, right, or something like that. Jay Crowder is what Jay Crowder is. He's a role player. You watch. I mean, if you pay Jay Crowder $14 million a year, which probably what he would get on the open market right now, right? He's not getting traded for anything. He has no value. His biggest value is his contract. So if you're looking at a guy out there that's making $10 million a year, whatever, solid role player coming off the bench, let's say a Tony Allen or that type of mold. You want a role player? Danny Ainge can go out and trade whatever he wants to get a role player. A role player is easy to acquire. A superstar, we've waited 99 episodes to get a superstar. All right,
so
now we finally got
the
him.
Superstar, but according to your theory, it's just because the Celtics have Kyrie Irving that they're so much better than they are last year, and they're so much better than they were weeks before the trade.
Yes, because, I mean, we think about it. Like, the NBA is a superstar-driven league. So if you can have, you need to get studs, and you can build around
cliches,
studs.
bro. Cliches.
You can build around studs.
Okay, but this year, we're talking about this year. We're not talking about 2-3 years down the line. This year, are they a better team than they were after the trade? Okay,
yes,
that's his answer. All right, I disagree. Sway disagrees.
They are because I mean, you talk about role players. Marcus Morris is a role player.
I don't know, Sean. I see one superstar on this roster, and I see a really good player in Gordon Hayward. That's just my opinion. I mean, you use superstars with plural. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe superstars pushing it for Gordon Hayward, but he is right there on the
He's an all-star.
verge.
You give me that. He's an all-star.
Right. So superstar,
we're talking longevity, and we're talking about
10.
someone.
And even people will argue with the Kyrie being a superstar because he played along. Kyrie played against LeBron
that's
James.
true. That's true. People will do that, but I agree with Sean on that. I think you got a superstar in Kyrie Irving. I agree with you there, but you had one in Isaiah too. But either way, longevity.
He had the potential.
Irving wins by a mile. If we're talking longevity, Irving wins by a mile.
He had the potential.
It's a great trade because of that.
He has the potential to be a huge superstar in Boston.
Yeah.
Again, if you build around him,
which I think they will. And
not this year though. I don't think this year.
I think they have the opportunity to do it this year because they have a lot of draft picks that they picked this year. What's that guy? Seme Ojeleye or whatever his name is.
Why are you bringing him up?
Trade. You can trade those contracts.
I thought you're saying because he can contribute. Okay, I got
you. Know me, man. I'm not the guy that's gonna say Aaron Baines is gonna make a big difference on his team this year. He's gonna be grit and everything.
Yeah, Sean laughed about the whole Zizic project.
Yeah, Zizic. If you gotta trade Zizic, trade fucking Zizic.
Yeah, that guy looked terrible in Summer League. I know it's Summer League, but he just didn't look good. Didn't look good.
Yeah, it's like it looked like you playing wiffle ball, bro.
So.
By the way,
Sway's
got zero
wiffle ball skills aside. What's the next?
So no, real quick. I just want to put my 2 cents on this icon thing. Isaiah Thomas, Boston icon. That's very hard to say right now because, of course, 2.5 years is 2.5 years. However, what Isaiah Thomas did, especially last year, it's going to be something that's going to be remembered for a very long time.
Sure.
Isaiah Thomas, what he did last year. I mean, we talked about this last episode. I've never seen a Celtic put together a individual solid season as good as what we saw this past year. Now, with that being said, whether the Celtics go off and win 2 championships within the next 10 years or whatever you want to call it, or whether they go the other way, I feel like Isaiah Thomas is a guy who is going to be mentioned by people who remember this era, remember how Danny Ainge bridged the gap, and they will be telling stories for years. Kids who are 11, kids who are just born and 10, 11 years from now become huge Celtics fans, they will be told the stories of Isaiah Thomas. They'll be told about what happened to him with his sister. They'll be told about the 53-point game. They'll be told about the 52-point game during the regular season. And they'll be told about the fact that no one has ever averaged that many points since Larry Bird until, I don't know, let's say hypothetically Irving puts up 29 this year, next year, whatever the case may be. We have never seen someone average almost 30 points in the Celtics uniform since Larry Bird until Isaiah Thomas put together the season he did last year. You can't forget that. It's unforgettable. And without Isaiah Thomas, this trade doesn't happen. Without Isaiah Thomas, the Celtics are still in rebuild mode.
Yeah.
This rebuild mode was expedited just because of Isaiah Thomas single-handedly what he's done the last 2 years in this city. And that's not even up for debate. That's my 2 cents.
I mean,
not an icon, but someone that is revered in this city and that won't be forgotten for decades. I truly believe that.
I might disagree with you a little bit on the forgetting, because if Isaiah regresses with his injury and he's not the same player,
I think he'll still be revered.
He'll be like a footnote.
No, he'll be revered. He'll still be revered.
So I was just trying to think of this. I mean, has this really ever happened?
No.
Like a guy that brings
I was thinking the same thing a couple days ago.
Brings a team from nothing right to the precipice of greatness. To the Eastern Conference Finals, right?
Right.
And this is the guy, and it's been 2 years, and then all of a sudden,
see you later.
Bye. Like, and it's a trade. And
thanks for the help. See you.
You know what I mean? Like, I can only think like Drew Brees, like on the Chargers. Really,
I'm thinking. You know what popped in my mind? Like Celtics wise, in 2002 when they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, what did most Celtics fans assume was going to happen next year? The same squad.
Right.
Maybe you might tweak a little piece here and there. Was going to come back. What did Celtics management do that summer? They traded away Kenny Anderson for Vin Baker, right?
No, that was Danny, wasn't it?
No, that wasn't Danny.
No, it was right before.
It was right
Danny
before.
came in 03.
Yeah, that was like
the playoffs of 03. Really,
I've always
really
blamed
weird
Danny
time.
Ainge for Vin Baker now.
Yeah, no.
But no, seriously, even if you're just talking about the Isaiah Thomas factor.
Sean's like, I'll take Vin Baker off the list.
Yeah,
of mistakes.
All right, Danny, you're.
And then you trade away a point guard, and they tried to make Tony Delk like they're running their point guard to try to make the same run.
He even wore number 7.
Website, yeah, the website was still.
I love Tony Delk.
I do too. I didn't say I didn't, but all I'm saying is, you know, at the time,
Tony Delk was like the beginning of the combo guard era. Yeah. Like he was like the first combo guard.
Yeah. They tried to make him play point guard. They tried.
It's
so
like
hard.
okay. I
know.
I
can't dribble.
It's like okay. I know.
I never learned this part.
I know he's 6'1", but he's not a point guard.
Yeah.
He's the beginning of this combo guard era. Okay, let's keep it going here. Number 2. Can the Cavaliers really win a championship this year? Is Isaiah Thomas saying that with? I mean, I think he believes it, but do we believe that? Can the Cavaliers really win a championship?
Is Mike on? No, they cannot win.
100%, no chance.
No chance.
I think they can.
Really?
Yeah. I think they can because
Joel also thought that the Cavs could beat the Warriors this past year.
Yeah, that worked out.
So I'm not surprised because hey, I'm with Joel. This is a better team. So if Joel thought that they could beat the Warriors, of course he thinks that now because they're a better team, and I agree with that. They're a better team.
A lot of it had to do.
LeBron's checked out this year, man. That's what.
No, but a lot of it had to do with.
Why did people say that? Why? How is he checked out? That's not even in his freaking. That's not in his DNA, Sean. Why do people say that? Yeah, he bumps Kendrick all day. That's not in his DNA. Sorry, Joel, but go ahead. Go ahead. Let Joel go.
95% of LeBron James is different from 100% of LeBron James. That's what I think you're going to get this year.
LeBron James is obsessed with getting his main championships with Michael Jordan. He knows that he's got like 4 years left, maybe less. I'm giving him an extra year or 2. He's not going to give up. He doesn't care what team he has. He's going to give it all he has.
No, to piggyback on what you said, believing that the Cavs were going to beat the Warriors last year, mind you, I believe it was going to go 7 at least. But the way Kyrie played against the Celtics, you know what I mean? And during their playoff run through the Eastern Conference, LeBron was insane.
They lost 1 game. Yeah.
and it was the one game that he had his only bad game ended up in a loss. Mm-hmm. And it could have been another loss if Kyrie doesn't go out for 40-something points.
Right.
You know, in game, was that game 4? Game 4, where the Celtics led.
Yeah, when
80% of that game.
When he, what was it, the third quarter? He scored like 20-something points, yeah.
Goes off. So then I was like, if these two are on the same page, you know, they're pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, plus this is a tough matchup for the Warriors, too.
Exactly.
I mean, if we're talking just Kyrie and Steph Curry, I mean, yeah, 2015. I mean, he only played game 1 of that NBA Finals.
Yeah, he only played game 1 of that Finals, and then and LeBron still almost nearly pulled it off. So other than KD going bananas, he played ridiculous in the Finals. What was Cleveland's Achilles heel? Their bench. Their bench was awful last year. Their bench was awful. Channing Frye, Deron Williams, Derek Williams. Who else? Who else am I missing? Missing one more guy.
Kyle Korver, but
no, but
he
okay,
didn't have a great.
he didn't have a great finals.
postseason. Yeah,
but who was there was one other guy I was trying to remember. Well, anyways, this time around, I mean, we were just arguing about Jay Crowder. You had Jay Crowder, you know, a very underrated two-way player in this league. Very underrated two-way player.
I think he's rated.
And you tell him, I think
he's rated.
And you tell him, hey, just go do your thing. In a playoff run or in a series against like the Warriors, for example, who are the two guys that know how to beat the Warriors? Isaiah Thomas and fucking Jay Crowder. They've done it. Yeah.
I think Kelly Olynyk has a lot to say about that.
Yeah, that too. But
no, they lost that game. He went off.
Oh yeah,
that was the best game of his career, but they did lose it. The triple overtime thriller. What an amazing game! I'll never forget that.
Talk about it. His best game of his career was Game 7 against the Wizards.
Because the Celtics won, okay, but the fact that he did against the Warriors, like that came out of nowhere. I mean, the Warriors game came out of nowhere. I mean, the Wizards game came out of nowhere. But that really came out of nowhere against the Warriors, though. That was in Boston, triple overtime. And Kelly Olynyk looked like Dirk Nowitzki. It was crazy.
Yeah. By the way, why are we not wondering if the Celtics are going to miss Kelly Olynyk this year?
Joe, what were you saying?
Yeah. So the Warriors, you know, in the last few seasons have had trouble with the Celtics mainly because the Warriors are better like a team defender than just a lockdown. There's not one lockdown guy for the Warriors. So then now you got LeBron, and then you got, you know, hopefully if Isaiah is healthy. You got Isaiah. Can't forget about.
Hopefully, if Isaiah's healthy.
No.
That's where still talking about championship aspirations.
No, I knew you were gonna say something, Sean. Listen, that's where I'm not concerned for the Cavaliers because I'll tell you this: the Cavs are thinking about the playoffs. Okay, so IT can take his time. He can do whatever All-Star break, March. It's all about the playoffs.
You can shit on Jeff Green all you want, but that's less minutes that LeBron has to play because you got players like Jeff Green and Jay Crowder coming off your bench, rather than Channing fucking Frye and Derek Williams. Come on, really?
Or Richard Jefferson.
Thank you. That's the other guy I was trying to think of. Yeah, that's the other guy I was trying to think of.
But no, like I was saying though, like the fact that this team, we can say Isaiah Thomas would be 100% come next April, right? That's all it's about. That is all it's about. And one of the biggest question marks, because there's a lot of ifs with this team, is of course Derrick Rose. Can Derrick Rose duplicate what he did last year? Because if he can do that,
if Kyrie wasn't traded, that's a great guy coming off the bench.
That's a great guy coming off the bench. That's better than anybody in the Warriors have coming off the bench.
Yeah,
easily
better than fucking Sean Livingston.
Better than Iguodala.
Better than Iguodala.
Sure, but the Cavs. So the Cavs still have no chance of beating the Warriors. And I think the Western Conference got a lot better. So even if it's the Rockets, even if it's the Thunder, even if it's the Spurs,
no one's beating the Warriors out the West.
I'm just saying. If something catastrophic happens with the Warriors, the Cavs still have no chance this year. They still got no chance. And you know what? I think the Celtics have a better chance of coming out of the East than the Cavs.
You're basing it off. They're basing it off with LeBron, the LeBron theory that he's checked out, which doesn't make any sense.
All right, I'll tell you this.
I didn't say checked out.
They have a decent chance.
You did say checked out.
Maybe I did. But LeBron James checked out is 95% of LeBron James.
Listen though.
He might check out in the regular season, but
the Cavaliers have a decent chance in the finals. But I'll tell you this: the roster that you see right now is not the same roster you'll see in April.
Oh, for the Cavs?
For the Cavs. Don't be surprised.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Don't be surprised
too. Listen, as weird as that to say.
Listen, don't be surprised if Dwayne Wade finally gets his buyout and goes to Cleveland.
That's in case you missed it. Stay tuned.
All of a sudden, IT, Wade, LeBron, Kevin Love, maybe Kevin Love, because don't be surprised if a deal happens for DeMarcus Cousins. Don't be surprised.
I would take a bang up Wade over J.R. Smith right now.
Iman Shumpert, that Brooklyn pick, thanks to Danny. Brooklyn pick, Iman Shumpert, Kevin Love on an expiring deal for next year. Let's say DeMarcus Cousins punches one of his teammates in New Orleans and oh shit, all of a sudden we got to get rid of this guy.
Why do you think that's going to happen?
You love when that happens.
Would you be shocked?
I would love it.
Would you be shocked?
If Boogie Cousins was on my team and he punched another teammate, I would trade the teammate that got punched. And I would say, why do you have to get punched by
and I'll tell you this right now, New Orleans would take that deal. They will take that deal. Okay, 1 year of Kevin Love.
Yeah, you know what?
First round pick for next summer.
In there, yeah, it makes sense. I hate the people that are like...
So if you subtract Kevin Love and put DeMarcus Cousins, that's not a better team?
No, I'm saying the deal. People are saying, "Oh, you just do the Brooklyn pick and Iman Shumpert, and they'll do it in a second." No, they friggin' won't.
No, that won't. Yeah,
you
that
throw
won't
Kevin Love in there.
No,
like Channing Frye. You throw him in.
No. Contract wise, that works.
I know it works, but the Pelicans aren't gonna do that.
No,
all they want is that pick.
No. If that happens, no. Kevin Love is going to be in there.
They want that pick, and they want to make it hurt too.
Well, Kevin Love's going to be there because his contract going to expire next year. And they still have Davis till what, 2020?
Don't forget about the ghost of Buddy Hield. They had to give Buddy Hield for that shit, man.
I haven't brought up the fact that Iman Shumpert demanded a trade like right after Kyrie Irving that just gone under the radar.
And I love the fact that Isaiah Thomas threw his name in there about like how deep their team is. I'm like, I don't know. Shumpert still wants to be there.
I'm like, you had me at Derrick Rose.
Kyrie's
right.
Kyrie's like
Rose, Jay Crowder after that.
All right. Even Jeff Green, but
did he mention Jeff Green?
He didn't, but I'm just saying.
I was gonna say I don't think he mentioned Jeff Green.
No, but Kyrie's like, I demand a trade.
I think he mentioned Jose Calderon though. So.
Well, he mentioned Love, and I was like, I don't know if Love might not be around by the end of the season, but we'll see.
Shumpert's like, hey, me too. I want out too, and everyone's like, well, we don't really care about you, buddy.
They're like, yeah, we'll talk later, Iman.
Well.
You know what?
We'll do the best we can to accommodate you.
Leave me a message. Leave me a message. Leave me a message.
Hey,
Let's get back to this.
You see my little inbox thing outside my office? Yeah, put your complaints in there.
Great talk. Let's take this offline, huh? We'll talk. Me and you will talk.
Hey, shoot me an email in case I forget.
Because I will forget.
I will forget. I'm brand new here.
I'm a busy guy.
I'm brand new here. I'm trying to do I just acquired Isaiah. Come on.
Shump, I got me things. And you. Yeah. We're on the same page here. We're on the same page. Just send me an email.
Trust me, brother. I don't want to forget.
Lastly,
I will trade you right away. Just remind me.
Lastly, Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder, did they really rebuild the Celtics? Are they the reason why the Celtics went to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge is the reason why they went to the finals.
Because Isaiah Thomas at the press conference said that we built that. He said, I quote.
Man, I think what he was trying to say was
he said it wrong, right?
Yeah, he said it wrong. I think he wanted to say, I was a big part of what they were building over there, and now I gotta face it and remind myself I was just there. I know what they were going.
Now he has to destroy it.
That's what
he said in the Players Tribune. See, I wish like the Players Tribune quotes was like the press conference because like I want to see his face saying these things because.
I heard his voice the whole time reading that thing.
The quotes in the Players Tribune were so like ice cold, man. They were so ice cold, but at the same time they were so passionate for the city of Boston. It was just like he couldn't have done that any better.
Well, I think
editor or not, it couldn't have come out any better.
I think someone recorded him speaking, and they were like, "All right, now I got to put this." I got to put pen to paper of what he actually said.
You think he just like
without cursing? Oh, there was some cursing in there. I saw some some shits.
Probably just gave him like a bottle of like Jack Daniels. It's just like, hey, talk about your feelings with Boston. He's just like, okay, just fucking went on it, and then he goes,
"Whoever was in charge of that article,
I will make this happen." By the way, you know what I love about the Players Tribune is it's a Derek Jeter started thing.
Yeah.
But David Ortiz, Paul Pierce, and Isaiah Thomas,
all Boston cats,
have used it better than anybody has out there.
That's true.
And it's a Boston. Now it's sort of a Boston type thing.
Yeah, I've seen some other guys like
they try
like Kenyon Martin. I'm like, no one wants to hear what you got to say.
Kenyon Martin's like, I think I really like New Jersey.
And all those eyes are in print.
All of them are in print.
All right, real quick, before we get into Joel's, in case you missed it.
I didn't mean it. I did.
I did. Jay Crowder, man, he said something that really surprised me. I mean, I thought he would keep this to himself, but he talked about the fact that, of course, he lost his mother. Because obviously a lot of the focus was on Isaiah Thomas. But Jay Crowder talked about the fact that, the trade went down the same day he lost his mother. And he talked about the fact that he told her that he got traded moments before she passed. Now, say what you want about Jay Crowder, Sean. You think he's a role player. He thinks that,
I love Jay Crowder.
No, obviously I know that, but I feel like you don't. It's not just you, but I think people don't understand the fact that Jay Crowder is going to come back with a vengeance. Okay, Jay Crowder hasn't even taken to social media. He hasn't even thanked Boston. He hasn't said anything about thank you to the Celtics fans. He's in destruction mode right now, and I think that Jay Crowder is going to put together the best season we have ever seen out of him. When he plays the Celtics,
what is the best season
you've
ever seen?
Mark my words. When he plays the Celtics. He's going to smack Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward is going to be shut down.
Like so the way
you really like that matchup.
Fight?
Sean, this is one of the key matchups.
You talking about a fight?
No, not even that. I'm just talking about physicality and just completely shutting him down. You talk about the fact that the Celtics have a chance to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in a 7-game series. Without Gordon Hayward's production, Jay Crowder is going to...
Listen, no.
Going to annihilate him.
I think that
Gordon Hayward's going to walk away from the court crying. Okay,
no, I think we
freaking
look at
crying to Brad Stevens about what just happened.
Okay, so obviously I love Jay Crowder. I'm not going to say anything bad about Jay Crowder. And if he comes back with the vengeance,
Gordon Hayward is not built for this, man.
No, I think we underestimate the way Gordon Hayward is built
against everybody, against every other team except for the Cavaliers.
No, I don't think that's not fair to say. When
has Gordon Hayward been in an NBA rivalry? When has he been in the kind of environment?
Okay.
Like the Garden.
Okay, so
or in Cleveland at the Oracle.
He obviously hasn't been because he's been rotting in Utah, and Utah has nothing out there. But when he was on Butler and he went against Duke, he played balls to the wall that game. He's got that in him.
Yeah, I remember when I was 19 too, but
he's
much different, man.
He's got that in him. I think it's going to see. I think this is my take on this is that Gordon Hayward maybe he hasn't in the NBA he hasn't been pressured to succeed and hasn't been pressured to like really
be the guy
right
for a top contending team.
He was the guy, but no one in Utah gave one fuck.
Well, because they weren't a top contending team. That's what I'm saying though. This is a completely different ball game over here.
I think that he has
against the Cavaliers.
Has it in him. I don't think Brad Stevens would love Gordon Hayward so much if he didn't know that there was that warrior mentality in it. Because look at this team.
I think he might have it in him. Look at this team. Year one.
Look at this team that Brad Stevens built. Look at the team that Brad Stevens put together. Heart, grit, balls, everything, right? You think his favorite player of all time that he's ever coached wouldn't have heart, grit, and balls? No, I think we're going to see a different Gordon Hayward this year because now he's playing back for Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens enjoys all the little things about basketball. Gordon Hayward's not his favorite player if he's not doing the little things. And maybe he wasn't asked to do that in Utah, but I think we're going to see a totally different Gordon Hayward. So I'm not too worried about Jay Crowder coming up and trying to smack Gordon Hayward. Even though that
I meant like metaphorically. No. I don't mean like he's physically going to smack him. I mean
physically, that would be awesome to see.
Going to be
I would love to see that fight.
He's going to shut him down so bad that people are going to be like, he pretty much got smacked last night.
He might poke him in the nose. You know?
I don't even know who to root for on that fight. I would be so torn.
Like when you add,
there's no rooting for anybody. Jay Crowder would murder him.
When you add the element of what happened when the fans were cheering for Hayward at that game and Crowder said all that, and then you add the fact that he got traded. And then the guy just lost his mother. Come on, man.
I didn't know what you were going with that. I thought we were gonna talk about like Jay.
Oh no, I went there.
Yeah, you did.
I thought we were gonna play a little
something
like obituary music or some shit.
You said that the team that Brad Stevens has built, right?
Right.
That was last year's squad.
Okay.
Of this gritty balls to the walls. There's nobody on this team. Maybe Marcus Smart. Maybe Marcus Morris, who has that.
Rozier.
Okay, Rozier. My bad.
No. Take Rozier out of there. You guys serious right now? Come on.
Is that a gritty guy?
He's gritty as fuck.
Yo, he might be the most gangster person on the squad right now.
Okay, off the court, but
think about it.
No, on the court too.
Effectiveness, you can put in Terry Rozier.
I'm talking about like his
grit
attitude.
And balls.
He's got grit and balls.
Let Joel finish his fucking sentence.
Real quick though, 3 gritty guys: Crowder, Bradley, Thomas. They're all gone.
That's what I'm saying.
Those are the 3 guys.
Smart's not gritty.
But that's my point.
Okay.
Get the fuck out of here.
Let me finish my point.
Okay, I'll give you Smart. Go ahead, Joe.
Let me finish my point.
I'll give you Smart. Okay, all right. Smart's still there. Okay.
Smart, Rozier, and maybe Marcus Morris, right? Because he's a Morris twin, right? Even though I feel, Markieff is the tougher twin. That's just me.
He is
different than last year's team, right?
Okay, different than last year's team. So all these other guys that are on the squad have yet to shown, or we've yet to see any grittiness, balls to the walls type of Brad Stevens makeup of a team, right?
Which I get, yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying that. So
But
let me ask you this.
I think Hayward has it.
Okay. He has it. You think he has the potential to have that? Okay. So
I think
we've answered this question before, but let me ask you right now. Do you think the Celtics are even a contender right now?
Yeah. I mean, what contender? What do you mean contender?
Like contender, someone that can make it to the NBA Finals.
Make it to the NBA Finals? Yeah. Make it. Yes. I truly think that even though Cleveland now, after that press conference, everything's sort of been like, hey, everything's okay in Cleveland. The only reason why they're doing this now is because they saw the Boston press conference and they're looking at Boston and we're over here saying everything's great. This is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, but it's no coincidence that trip, that the article and the Player Tribune didn't have to do anything with the press conference.
You know, Isaiah was probably like, I don't want, and maybe that's where I was coming from. I feel like it was an Isaiah decision to be like, I don't want a press conference. I'm not happy about this at all. Like, I don't want to talk about my hip. I don't want to talk about joining Cleveland.
Yeah, because he knew that the whole thing would be about his hip.
Right. Which I thought. But then when he wrote the article, he basically made his amends. He probably talked with whatever his freaking name is over there, LeBron James.
Kobe.
Whatever his name is, LeBron something. I don't know.
Oh, I did talk about the GM.
LeBron's probably like, hey, Isaiah, I need to do a press conference.
Who the fuck is that? That's not LeBron James.
That sounds like Shaq more than anything else.
Like Shaq mixed with Alonzo Mourning.
Something. Prior to the trade, I didn't think they were a title contender, and we talked about that. And now, after the trade, I still don't think they're a title contender, but that's just me.
What if I buy you an ice cream sundae, Isaiah? You like Powerade?
All right, let's get into it. In case you missed it, what we missed, bro?
In case you missed it.
Completely the opposite of what we use.
That wasn't it at all.
Not even close.
In case you missed it.
In case you missed it, the Houston Rockets have officially been sold for $2.2 billion.
What?
Yeah. Beating the league record of the sale of the Clippers back in 2014 of $2 billion.
Ballmer.
Yeah, by Steve Ballmer.
Hey, Steve Ballmer. Go.
This is the only reason why I'm talking about this, because I wanted you to talk like Steve Ballmer. Houston billionaire Tillman.
Steve Jobs could suck it.
Houston billionaire Tillman Fertitta has agreed to pay Leslie Alexander a reported $2.2 billion.
I don't know any of these people.
Yeah, they're all billionaires, I guess. The Rockets. Actually, you know what?
They got their $1 million bills.
No, but Leslie Alexander, the old owner of the Rockets, he donated quite a bit to the Harvey Relief Fund there in Houston. I think it was like $10 million.
R.I.P. Harvey.
Yeah, fuck Harvey, that motherfucker.
Pull one out for Harvey, man.
Seriously,
guy's a dick.
Guy's an asshole.
And you know what? I heard
on a serious note, like, thoughts and prayers to those affected by Harvey down in the Houston area.
Yeah, for real.
You never want to see something like that.
And it's crazy because Joel and I were just there, like, what, 8 months ago?
Yeah, especially in Houston, because like Houston's a spot that you're not ready for a hurricane.
Yeah. In case you missed it, Dwayne Wade says he wants to compete for another title. Surprise, surprise. Before he retires. Apparently,
I heard that.
The Bulls promised. I wish
heard
I
that.
did, but
wish
I did.
I didn't, but I did.
Apparently, the Bulls promised Wade that they would be competitive in the 2017-18 season. That's the reason why Wade opted into his $24 million option. Now the Bulls are playing.
They shut it down.
And then I know, right? And the Bulls, I know, right? And since then, got rid of Jimmy Butler. They didn't pick up Rajon Rondo's option. I think their starting point guard is going to be Zach LaVine, who's coming off a torn ACL.
They're definitely not starting at the beginning of the year. But
well, I'm just saying.
No, it's going to be Cannon.
I'm just trying to make it look.
Cannons will be there. Was Isaiah Cannon?
No, he got waived. He got cut.
Oh, jeez.
The same day Rajon Rondo did. They're starting all over.
Cannon's like, really?
Fred Hoiberg.
You guys don't even have another point guard right now.
I can do it. I can be a player coach from Fred Hoiberg, baby. I'm running point.
So ever since Dwayne Wade did pick up his option, all this shit has happened for the Bulls. So now they're playing hardball about actually wanting to buy out his deal, right? To negotiate a buyout. Fucking.
What does Dwayne Wade actually have left in the tank? What does he have left in the tank?
For a contender? I think he'd be
14-point guy.
Yeah. 14, 15 points.
Couple seasons.
I still think he could be a starter.
Do you think he's going to just go to a contender and be like, yeah, I'm cool being the sixth man? Is he at that point in his career?
If we're talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers, I mean, I put him over Iman Shumpert.
I would put him over J.R. Smith.
Excuse me, J.R. Smith. That's what I meant.
Yeah, I think he can still start. I can still think he could be a number 2.
I put him alongside Isaiah.
I don't think he could play. Well, okay,
him and Derrick Rose right now in the backcourt. Really?
While Isaiah
recuperates.
Yeah.
I don't think Dwayne Wade could play the same minutes he played before.
Well, he doesn't have to. When they're not asking him, I don't think they would ask him to play 35, 36, 7 minutes. Whatever.
So I think if you're not playing starter minutes, then don't start.
Well,
Just
no, he would
play.
He would play a lot more until Isaiah gets back. But
but I mean, like, when Isaiah gets back, he then moves to the bench. He has to be cool with coming off the bench.
So then, but you forget, Derrick Rose is. We've talked about Derrick Rose and his stability over there.
It's just funny now.
So then, if he goes down, and then
it's funny because now it's just funny how all of a sudden the Cleveland Cavaliers are turned into like the 2012 Celtics. It's like you got to monitor people's minutes now, but not LeBron. LeBron's okay, but like everybody else is like,
he led the league last year.
Be careful with Wade. When Isaiah gets back, they're gonna like slowly get him back, little by little, because it's all about the playoffs. It's the same mentality that we saw with Doc Rivers and the Celtics throughout those last couple of years of the Big Three.
Now, talking about Wade though, would Wade go anywhere else?
No,
but Cleveland.
Well, that's my next point.
Okay, bing bang boom.
Because it's
we're on the same page today, baby. We're on the same page.
Because it's heavily rumored that he's gonna. Everyone's assuming he's going to go with the Cavs, right? He's going to sign with the Cavs as soon as he gets cleared from waivers. The Heat are also interested in bringing him back, but they won't. They're saying they would bring him back off the bench. They wouldn't start.
Okay.
The way things went down in Miami before he left, come on, get out of here. He's not going back there.
No, he ain't going back. He'll sign a one-day contract with Miami.
What other team? Think about it. What other team right now needs
shooting?
A shooting guard.
Bench?
I mean, he's not that he's a great shooter. A scorer. Just say a scorer.
I could think of one.
Don't say the Celtics because I don't. Why would you want to have Dwayne Wade on this team? If Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are supposed to be,
wait, Sean. You got Gordon Hayward, bro. He's a superstar, man.
If he wants to come off the bench,
man, you got Gordon Hayward, man.
That's taking away.
He's way better than Avery Bradley.
That's taking away minutes from Marcus Smart if you bring him.
So much better than Avery Bradley.
Are you guys done mocking me? Because I want to make a point over here, all right? I'm just saying, if he gets bought out, then Celtics should definitely look into him. If they can get a guy if he says, I'm willing to come off the bench for a contender, if he's really willing to come off the bench and doesn't care about his minutes, I mean, would you be? I hate Dwayne Wade, right? It's tough. It's a tough sell, but
I don't know, bro.
But would you at least consider it? I think I would if you can sign him.
Well, first of all, he's got to be bought out. Which
if
the Bulls are not. The Bulls are not. They're not rushing into doing that.
But you know what?
Which is kind of like he's in limbo because everyone on the roster, apparently all the young players, they all fucking hate him.
But listen though, listen to though, like for them to trade,
like that guy's a dick.
For them to trade Dwayne Wade, they have to get matching contracts, which no one is going to.
They're not going to trade him.
So that's
He's worth $24 million right now. Who's going to trade for him?
If we're talking about him joining the Cavs, he's getting bought out. So
that's what I'm saying. He's got.
That's the only way that happens.
That's the only way that happens.
So the Celtics are going to be in the running too. I mean, if you have.
I get what you're saying. It's like get him before the Cavs do.
Yeah, if you can take him away from the Cavs and you can put him off the bench and he's coming on. Marcus Smart starts, but then Dwayne Wade's your offensive, defensive thing. You know what I mean?
He's got to get like the veterans minimum though, because Celtics are not going to go over the cap to sign him.
Oh, so you're saying that they would like potentially block that the Celtics would attempt to block that to try to claim him off of waivers? Is that what you're trying to say?
I just think that
they should look into doing that.
I think they should, and I also think it would help this team with a little bit of. I mean, obviously, I haven't seen this team play yet, but I mean, there's
the defense
a little.
Sucks, right?
No. Not the defense. Not the defense.
They're contenders though.
Not the defense though, but I think if
the defense is so suspect. All right, go ahead.
You guys are the biggest haters in the world right now.
How are we hating, man? Who's playing? Okay, go ahead.
Defense, I'm not worried about.
Last year ago, if I okay.
You just said go ahead.
Okay, sorry. A year ago, if I...
And you still... all right, go.
I got to say this. A year ago, if I told you that, Marcus Morris, it's what the Celtics need to defend LeBron James, you would have laughed in my face. You would have laughed in my face. Just like that.
1,000% I would.
And now, all of a sudden, when I ask you, who's guarding LeBron James? Marcus Morris. He's the best defender.
What are you going to say?
Did you look at that damn stat?
That stat I found out of nowhere? You ever hear of real plus minus defense?
I don't know. It's just gonna be interesting going forward when it comes to Dwayne Wade.
I think it's going to be something to watch, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Celtics are in on Dwayne Wade.
That would be like, you know, he's gonna end up going to like the Clippers,
somewhere that doesn't matter.
someone that doesn't matter exactly.
But
whoa, what about Houston? No, Houston wouldn't.
No. The backcourt's already stacked. I thought about that, but this is the thing about Wade though.
Milwaukee.
Wade wants
Milwaukee.
No,
he's a Marquette guy.
Listen.
He's a Marquette guy.
That doesn't matter because Milwaukee, they're not going to be. He wants to compete for a championship. This is the thing. Wade wants to go to Cleveland, but he doesn't want to be the guy who chases LeBron. He doesn't want to like express, oh, I want to go to Cleveland. He wants Cleveland to express, we want you here. Figure out the buyout with Chicago, and once that finally is figured out, he'll go to Cleveland. Put it this way.
What about OKC?
Oh, the way Sean likes to put it. Gun to the head to Dwayne Wade.
Bang, bang!
Wade's like, Cleveland, please. Cleveland. Like,
what about OKC?
Yeah, I mean, he was working out with Paulie George. I saw those pictures.
They can use someone like that.
I mean, that
I don't know,
backcourt.
that roster looks so suspect.
Russ running the point.
It's top heavy, but the rest of the roster looks
Russ
really
running the point.
suspect.
There's
even Wade's. There's even rumors of Carmelo getting traded to.
What about
OKC?
San Antonio though too?
That I could see that happening more than Wade going there. I'm telling you, Wade wants to go to Cleveland.
I love how everybody's moving around, and Carmelo's like, "What the fuck? Like, when am I going to get traded?"
Everybody was supposed to come to New York.
What the fuck happened?
No.
I've been here for 8 years.
No. He's supposed to get traded. I'm convinced that he's like waiting for that to happen, and it's not going to happen. No one wants to fuck with New York. In case you missed it. No rebuttal. Okay.
Nothing.
In case you missed it.
No, literally no one wants to fuck with New York. That was an overwhelming yes. I agree with you.
In case you missed it, we talked a little bit about it in the beginning of the episode, talking about Isaiah Thomas and the hip injury that reportedly now is being called a torn labrum, right? And it's been 4 months since the Eastern Conference Finals, and the only thing that we fucking know right now about that hip is that he's not playing basketball anytime soon. And that was obvious during the Thursday's press conference, and you know the Cavs made it absolutely clear that they didn't want to fucking talk about his hip. So let's sum up fucking Isaiah Thomas's his timeline, right? Since the Eastern Conference Finals, says no surgery is required for his hip injury, gets traded to the Cavs. Cleveland holds up the trade, saying that there was more to the injury than previously reported. The trade actually goes through. He gets introduced by the Cavs, but there's still no timetable on when he returns. So, what do we learn here?
I don't know if that timetable really made sense.
No, timeline. That was a timeline.
So the timeline has no timetable.
Yeah.
My mind is blown.
That's pretty much the wrap. Yeah, that's how you. That's the conclusion of that timetable.
Yeah,
because
it's just like no one fucking knows.
No one fucking knows.
Oh, excuse me, the timeline. I meant to say, yeah, that's the conclusion of that timeline because no one knows, or they do know, and they don't want to put that out in the public. They don't want the narrative to be Isaiah's out to the All-Star break because I think that's the case. If not, late January.
Like I think the Celtics were pretty much up front, but then they try to take advantage and try to squeeze another pick, like a first round pick or even another player.
Because if they were to go on record and say, "Oh yeah, you know what, his physical and he's going to be out to the All-Star break," that's going to be the headline. Oh, they traded for a guy who's going to be out to the All-Star break.
LeBron's leaving.
And LeBron's probably going to head out. Exactly.
Like
they don't want to deal with that.
Like the report now is that it could be something worse.
Like what Sean said earlier, is like it's about LeBron, man.
Yeah,
it's like let's not only appease LeBron and saying like, don't worry, man, Isaiah's going to come back soon, but let's keep the fans confident that Isaiah's not going to start the season, but don't worry. Come playoff time, he'll be all right. But they don't want to flat out say exactly. They don't want to flat out say Isaiah's going to be out to the All-Star break.
And we're rebuilding because LeBron's leaving.
Yeah, it's going to be.
That's the case, but no, there's
going to be a shitload of reports.
They're going to do the best to keep LeBron around. I'm telling you. That's why I think the roster you see now in Cleveland is not what you're going to see in April. No chance.
Yeah, no. To finish up on the Isaiah thing, it's going to be a bunch of reports saying that it's something worse. I don't know. Who knows now at this point?
It's all about the playoffs in Cleveland. Listen. Just like those last years of the Big Three in Boston, the Cleveland Cavaliers could go in as a 4th seed, and they're thinking about the finals. Like it doesn't matter, man. It's all about the playoffs.
I don't think they get out of that. I don't think they make it to the finals if they're a 4 seed.
Who's going to stop them? Obviously, you think Boston has a chance, but who else?
Well, I have
the
some.
East is weak.
I have a lot of faith in Milwaukee.
I can't remember the last time the East was this weak.
I think Milwaukee's going to have a pretty good squad this year.
They should. in this conference. But
I think they're going to be.
if they're
going to
against
surpass the Raptors.
if they're going against Cavaliers, no chance.
I mean,
But they'll
I think,
surpass the Raptors.
I think 06. I think 06. The East was pretty weak. I mean, other than Detroit, I mean, Miami made it out of the East that year.
Your boy Dwayne Wade.
Yeah. Okay, probably. It wasn't as much star power, but I don't know. Either way, it's okay. It's been weak. It's the weakest I've seen in what?
In the last 10 years.
11 years. 10
All right.
years. Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Fair
What
enough.
year is it?
All right, yeah. Well,
Well, you put it like that, Sway.
Wow. Well, yeah, you can check out Isaiah's Goodbye Letter to Boston on our homepage, CausewayStreetBlog.com.
Bada bing, bada boom.
And I got to repeat it once again. So much for Sean being right about Isaiah not having a press conference.
I didn't say. What?
You said that he wasn't going to have a press conference.
Listen.
Him, Jay Crowder, or Zizic.
he goes, no chance to have a press conference. I'm like, what do you mean no chance? Like, how are you that confident that they're not going to introduce this dude to Cleveland?
You know what? I didn't think that.
Just holding up the
Isaiah was
jerseys
gonna say
alone.
shit.
Just that.
Yeah.
I mean, a picture. Yeah, I didn't say no pictures. I meant press conference. But you know what? I forgot how big of a pussy Cleveland media is. Because
What do you mean?
So
No.
nothing to do with it. But all right, go ahead.
No, it does because if Isaiah sat in front of the Boston media and Danny Ainge went up and said, "Guys, just so you know, no hip questions. Every question will be about his hip."
But still, though,
Every question.
doesn't mean it's going to get answered.
No, I just think
Which is exactly what Isaiah did. Every time there was a hip question, Isaiah would just look at the GM like, "Dude, I thought we talked about this."
right. And you know what? There wouldn't be any.
He would put the mic down and be like,
You know,
like whisper, like, "Yo, what the fuck, man?" Like,
you know what's funny though? Last episode we talked about we were talking about Aaron Baines' press conference. Like, you thought Aaron Baines was going to a press conference and not Isaiah Thomas.
I know, right?
Even one of those hallway joints, like, yo,
When you put it like that, Swag,
Isaiah's here.
that was a stupid point of mine. That was a dumb point. When you put it like that, man.
But it was funny because I felt like no one
When
from
you put it like that, man.
I
was
feel
wrong.
like no
I was
one-
wrong. I was wrong.
It's almost like, yo, Zizek is holding up this press conference.
Yeah, but
we
I
got to
feel like-
find him to come over here, and so all three of them can hold
But
up
at the
their
same time,
jerseys.
it's funny because I feel like
Where
no
does
one from the
Zizic live?
I feel like no one from the Cavaliers really cared. You know what I mean? Like I said, no one said anything. But according to one of our listeners, Kevin Love tweeted something out because they played on an AAU team together.
No, Kevin Love did not tweet that out. I know that picture he's talking about where like Isaiah literally looks like a little kid next to
Oh, Joel's going to tell somebody
to
to
Kevin. All I'm saying
Joel's
is,
like, that's a throwback Thursday, motherfucker.
Yeah, no,
that was not a shout out to Isaiah Thomas joining the team.
It just so happened to be Thursday.
that photo's been flown around like all season.
Hashtag TBT.
TBT, okay? You can't take a TBT for granted.
That
That
photo
is not a shout out. That's just a coincidence.
No, that photo literally was flown around. Like,
I put
the internet.
TBTs.
I got you.
And so then because that happened, the trade happened, they're like, oh, now they're teammates again after, how many years of being AAU teammates, whatever.
The whole point of TBT is to put shit up that you hate the person, but hey, look at us like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look, oh man, I haven't talked to you in 14 years,
Yeah.
but this is a picture of us.
I won't talk to you tomorrow, but here's a picture of
But
us.
here's a picture of us when we played Little League together.
Yeah.
And you threw that ice cream at me. Haha, that was funny. TBT.
TBT.
Wait,
TBT.
This moment meant nothing in my life.
Wait.
TBT.
All right, in case you missed it.
I totally forgot about this moment until I saw a picture of TBT.
All right, in case you missed it. Marcus Smart apparently has lost 20 pounds. this
Yeah,
summer.
man, he's slimming up.
He says,
Sexy ass Marcus Smart.
He's like, I could be Isaiah.
Hey.
he says, and I quote,
I've also shrank.
I've been in the gym nonstop. It's a new me. I'm now more explosive. End quote.
More explosive. Get out of here, Marcus. Yo,
Hold on. Is he saying the right things though for someone who's in a contract year?
Yo, he's saying the right things because when Isaiah Thomas 2 years ago, when Isaiah Thomas was coming off his, quote unquote 6-man role, he was talking about being a starter. Do you not remember this?
What are you
Media
talking
day.
What about?
Media day, not last year.
He was
2 years ago.
Remember, that's what I'm saying. Like, eventually Isaiah would have been a starter, but he became a starter.
Oh, no. Wait, no. Sorry. Last year. Yeah, no, you're right. After they lost against the Hawks.
Okay, so the year before that,
The year
before that, he was a starter.
No, obviously, because he's been in the team longer. But my point is that he always envisioned himself as a starter, even over Isaiah Thomas. Obviously, this is before the season happened, because obviously that was the best season Isaiah's ever had. But he was making a point that I can be a starter. I'll never forget that. Throughout media day, he kept talking about it. And then he said, yeah, if I come off the bench, if that's what they want, that's great. I'll do whatever they want to. But at the same time, though, like, I think I could be a starter. So this is his chance thinking that, you know what? For everybody out there thinking that Gordon Hayward's going to play the 2 or that somebody else is going to come in here and play the 2, no, I'm your starting shooting guard. And you want me to be explosive? I can be like Isaiah too.
Yeah,
so you think he's going to be a starter, or you think that's what he's
in his mind?
That's what he's aiming for.
I'm telling you right now, if Marcus Smart is not a permanent starter, he's going to be mad, and we're going to have a problem. I'm telling you right now.
I think that Marcus Smart quote, if I ever have a Tinder profile, that's what I want as my thing.
I'm more explosive.
I think the whole thing. I've lost 20 pounds. I've been in the
explosive.
gym
No, he didn't say
all year.
No, he didn't say that. That wasn't
And
part
I'm
of the
way more explosive.
That wasn't a part of the quote.
That's my Tinder profile.
Read
it again. Read my Tinder profile.
The quote was, I've been in the gym nonstop.
Done.
It's a new me.
Yep.
I'm more explosive.
Any day. That's the one. That's a winner, man.
End quote.
I need to create a Tinder right now. I know, right now.
It's like Trey Songz.
Wait,
it's Mr. Take Your Girl.
I mean, to his credit.
I've been in the gym every day. It's a new me, and I'm more explosive. Wait. Every girl is just bang.
No, okay, Joe. No, I'm not trying to like discredit what he's saying. Okay, to his credit, okay, yeah, he's stepping up.
No.
No
to his
one,
credit.
No one's been on the Celtics longer than Marcus Smart, so he should be saying.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. To his credit, I've seen a picture of him that he put up on Instagram recently, and he does look slimmed down.
No, I'm not calling him a liar, but I'm saying like the
he does look slimmed down.
He's doing this because he wants to prove that he's a starter.
But if he was somebody that was supposed to, be the Celtics official 6th man a year ago, he wouldn't have to do any of this.
Listen, I don't want to hear any hate on that Marcus Smart.
No, but there was at one point where we were like, has he gained some weight? Even we were like,
I know.
You were like, yo, has he gained some weight? And Marcus Smart is different from game to game to game. He's not a consistent
I think
player.
Marcus Smart.
No, not at all. And then he'll put together a game 3, and then you're like, where the hell did that come from?
Well, I think Marcus Smart was sort of like bogged down by the backcourt logjam. Like he was behind Thomas, behind Bradley.
Nah, he had plenty of opportunity. Come on, Sean.
He's one of the first off the bench last year.
Yeah.
And he was and then when AV wasn't out, who started? Marcus
he had
Smart.
plenty of opportunity, and I give it to him.
That
game 3 performance against the Cavaliers was very impressive. At the same time, you got to be consistent. Okay, if this is going to help you, if you're more quote unquote explosive, all right, I can't wait to see it, Marcus.
That's what she said.
But at the same time, I just feel like Marcus is sort of like, wait a minute, guys, you're forgetting the fact that I'm on this team. Did you guys not see game 3? You know what I'm saying? Like that's like his the top of his resume. Like, look at game 3.
Yeah.
I can be that guy. I'm a bona fide starter. Why aren't people putting me in that projected starting lineup already? Some people are. Some people are, but at the same time, he's like,
I think he's going to be a starter.
He thinks he's like a vital piece. He thinks he's like the 3rd option on this team.
But I think we talked about this last episode or a couple episodes ago. Brad Stevens' lineup is going to change from team to team. I think you have a concrete Kyrie, Haywood, and Horford. Those are guaranteed is going to be your starters.
Yeah, those.
And everyone else.
Well, those are your guys for the next 2 years. So yeah, they better be starting.
Yeah, from Sam.
No, I think Hayward's going to come off the bench.
If Jay Crowder was still here, then Jay Crowder would probably agree with you. Too bad we'll never know the answer to that question when Sway was going to ask him and
someday
at training. Media day.
Someday we'll find out.
You're going to hear a variation of that answer when he makes Hayward his bitch.
Just in case you missed it, it's brought to you by
CLNS.
CLNS mobile app.
When you want the best.
Make sure you download.
I feel like a whore when I sing that now.
That was very vintage.
It really was.
That was very.
Like,
I feel like a whore when I sing this.
Make sure you download the CLNS mobile app for the best in online sports coverage for your Apple or your Android. That is the CLNS mobile app. Don't forget to also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and like us on Facebook. And visit our homepage, causewaystreetblog.com for quotes from Kyrie Irving, from Gordon Hayward, Isaiah Thomas, and Jay Crowder, and from Doc Rivers.
What?
Was recently in town for a charity event.
Oh, he did.
And had nothing but good things to say about the Celtics and their rebuild that he didn't want to be a part of.
Well, you know what, Doc?
Great. What do you say? Quickest rebuild of all time.
Yeah.
Doc. And Danny's just like, Doc, I was trying to fucking tell you how to play.
No, but and then after he says that, it just goes quiet. He just goes, fuck. Anything else? Anything else you want to say?
And now
Anything else you want to ask me?
Now I got to deal with
Now I gotta deal with this. Yeah, now I
Gallinari
got
for the next 4 years. God damn it! I should have had 1 year fucking Kelly Olynyk, and I would have been okay. You drafted Kelly Olynyk, and now I was like, I'm out. But now I gotta fucking. We signed Gallinari. We had Chris Paul, okay? When I went there, Chris Paul was there. And Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. I didn't envision this right where I am now, okay? I hope
Gallinari's our cornerstone player right now.
we lost Jamal Crawford. I never thought I'd care about Jamal Crawford.
And that is it for.
In case you missed it.
Yeah, so you head over to
CausewayStreetBlog.com
to read all of that what Doc said.
Those are exact quotes.
Those are exact quotes from Doc Rivers.
Danilo Gallinari. All right.
He's like, at one point, we had to fucking convince DeAndre Jordan not to go to the fucking Mavericks.
He actually left.
And then
we convinced him to come back.
We lost him for like a good 12 hours.
I called the cops, okay? I had the police involved. I didn't sleep for 4 days trying to get a 24% free throw shooter back on the team.
Seriously. Anything else you guys want to add before we head up out of here?
Nah, man, I'm
Yo,
good.
so what's the big plans for the 100th episode, guys? You guys don't know?
I don't know. That's why I was asking if anything else you guys want to add.
Oh.
Hachi Machi.
I was trying to set one of you guys up.
All right, who wants to do the honors?
You want me to do the honors? I'll do the honors.
Hey.
For our 100th episode, we will have ex-Celtic and former Boston. Can we say he's kind of like a Boston legend?
I think he's a Boston legend.
I think he's a Boston legend. Not an icon. Not an icon.
Thomas is.
Not an icon, but you know, if Isaiah Thomas after 2.5 years and this guy for 8 years.
Obviously, Isaiah Thomas bigger than
Isaiah being here for 2.5 years, and our guest was in Boston in Celtics Green for 8 years.
8 years.
He actually wore number 8. Employee
what?
number 8.
Wait, who is it?
Antoine Walker.
Antoine Walker.
Employee number 8.
There we go. It's going to be a
Antoine
good
Walker,
episode.
guys.
Employee number 8.
He has his own podcast. What's the name of his podcast?
Southside Heat. He's been causing some waves.
Make sure you check that out on the interwebs.
Yeah.
And he's got plenty to say about Isaiah Thomas getting traded. He had some thoughts on Danny Ainge as a GM in person.
Truthfully, the podcast is interesting to hear what Antoine Walker has to say. I mean, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Jesus. I don't care. If everyone knows that Antoine Walker is talking about Boston Celtic basketball and he's fucking on the Causeway Street podcast, that's what
So, that's on tap for the 100th episode.
Bang, bang, bang.
And
shit, that's next week.
We got some other probably surprise guests that I don't know about right now. But
yeah, I heard there's going to be a birthday cake.
You know, Sway, you got any guests on tap? Any other guests on tap for that day?
Oh, you'll see. It's going to be a surprise.
Oh, love surprises.
Strippers.
Twan's going to be on. It's going to be epic, and you don't want to miss it. That's it. I'm out of here. That's 100th episode. That's Causeway Street.
That's our only preview for next.
Yo, this is episode 99. You know what's up next. It's going to be legendary.
Oh, the 100th episode is going to come to you sooner than later.
You don't even know.
All right, talk to y'all guys soon. Peace. From all of us here on Causeway Street, our thoughts and our prayers are with our families and friends and all those who still remain in the state of Florida.